You hand your toddler the tablet at the restaurant. 5 minutes of peace. What could it hurt? But what if I told you that those harmless 5 minutes are rewiring your child's developing brain in ways you never imagined? And what's worse, the apps you thought were educational might actually be setting your child back months in speech development. I'm not here to shame you. I'm a parent too, and I know the struggle. But by the end of this video, you'll discover exactly what screen time does to your child's brain, the truth about educational content, and most importantly, realistic solutions that don't require you to throw every device in your house into the ocean. If you're ready to make informed choices about your child's brain development, stay with me till the end. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe to Little Nest Guide, and ring the bell so you never miss critical parenting insights that could change your child's future. Let's protect those developing minds. Here's what's happening inside your child's brain during screen time, and it's not what you think. Between birth and age 3, your child's brain is forming over 1 million neural connections every single second. Not every minute, every second. This is the most explosive period of brain development in the entire human lifespan. And screens are interfering with this process in 3 devastating ways. First, the language centers. When your toddler watches even educational videos, they're receiving one-way communication. The screen talks, but it doesn't respond to your child. It can't notice when your child looks confused and rephrase. It can't wait for your child to babble back and encourage them. This lack of responsive interaction is critical because language isn't learned through passive listening. It's learned through conversation. Studies show that children under 2 learn virtually nothing from screens, even from programs designed to teach them. The American Academy of Pediatrics found that for every 30 minutes of screen time, toddlers heard 770 fewer adult words and spoke 400 fewer vocalizations themselves. That's not just missing vocabulary. That's missing the neural wiring for communication itself. Second, attention circuits. Your child's brain is designed to learn through focused, sustained attention on real objects and people. But screens provide rapid scene changes, bright colors, and constant stimulation that hijack the brain's reward system. Every swipe, every bright animation, every musical ding releases a tiny hit of dopamine. Over time, the brain adapts to expect this level of stimulation. Then, when your child sits with a simple wooden block or listens to you read a book, their brain is underwhelmed. The neural pathways for sustaining attention on non-stimulating but important tasks, like listening to a teacher, completing homework, or having a conversation, literally underdevelop. Researchers have found that children exposed to high screen time before age 5 showed significantly shorter attention spans by age 7, and this wasn't temporary, it persisted into adolescence. Third, the social-emotional centers. Your baby's brain learns to read faces, interpret emotions, develop empathy, and regulate feelings through thousands of micro-interactions with real human faces. When a caregiver's face shows concern, then relief, then joy, your baby's mirror neurons are firing, mapping these emotional landscapes. Screens can't replicate this. Even video calls with grandma, while better than nothing, don't provide the same rich, 3-dimensional feedback. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for emotional regulation and impulse control, develops through real-world social feedback. Too much screen time during these critical years can result in difficulties reading social cues, managing frustration, and forming secure attachments. Let's get specific because one-size-fits-all advice doesn't work for real families. Here's what the research actually supports, age by age, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Under 18 months, virtually 0 recreational screen time. I know that sounds extreme, but hear me out. The only exception? Video chatting with family. Your baby's brain simply isn't wired to learn from 2-dimensional screens yet. The technical term is the video deficit effect. Babies under 2 struggle to transfer what they learn on screen to real life. That alphabet app? Your baby would learn those letters 5 times faster from you pointing at alphabet blocks. That doesn't mean you're a bad parent if your baby has seen screens. It means moving forward, we minimize as much as possible. 18 to 24 months. Up to 15 minutes of high-quality content, watched together. Notice I said together. Co-viewing completely changes the equation. When you watch with your toddler, pause to explain, ask questions, and connect what's on screen to real life, you're providing that critical, responsive interaction. Look, a cow. Remember when we saw a cow at the farm? Suddenly, the screen becomes a conversation starter, not a conversation ender. High quality means slow-paced, educational content specifically designed for this age. Think Sesame Street, not YouTube Kids' random algorithm. Ages 2 to 5. Maximum 1 hour daily of quality content, ideally broken into shorter sessions. But here's the catch. What actually counts as educational? Not what the App Store tells you. Research shows that for content to genuinely teach, it must have 4 elements: a clear learning goal, appropriate pacing with pauses for processing, interactivity that requires real problem solving, not just swiping, and connection to real-world activities. Most apps marketed as educational fail these criteria. They're digital candy disguised as vegetables. And here's what definitely doesn't count: background TV, even if it's news or adult programming. Fast-paced cartoons, games where the only goal is collecting points or characters, passive video watching without co-engagement. YouTube Kids unsupervised, the algorithm optimizes for watch time, not development. Ages 5 and up to 2 hours of quality screen time with clear boundaries. But even here, prioritize creative use, making videos, coding, video calling friends over passive consumption. The brain develops differently when creating versus consuming. I promised I wouldn't make you feel like a bad parent. So let's talk about realistic alternatives. You don't need to become a Pinterest-perfect parent with elaborate sensory bins and handmade Montessori materials, though if that's your thing, amazing. You just need to understand what your child's brain actually needs. Your child needs 3 things screens can't provide: responsive human interaction, physical movement and sensory exploration, and opportunities for creative, open-ended play. Responsive human interaction doesn't mean you need to play with your child every waking moment. It means narrating your day. Mommy's chopping carrots, hear that crunchy sound? Responding when they babble or ask questions. Singing simple songs while you fold laundry together. Making eye contact and having mini conversations. 5 minutes of this genuine back-and-forth interaction is worth an hour of educational programming. Physical movement and sensory exploration can be incredibly simple. A cardboard box becomes a fort, a car, a spaceship. A Tupperware container with dried beans becomes a musical instrument and a pouring activity. Water play in the sink with cups and funnels. Tearing paper, squishing Play-Doh, drawing with crayons on giant paper taped to the floor. These activities build the motor skills, spatial awareness, and cause and effect understanding that screens simply cannot provide. Creative open-ended play means toys without batteries, without a right way to play. Blocks, dolls, play food, toy animals, books, musical instruments, art supplies. When there's no predetermined outcome, your child's brain has to imagine, plan, problem solve, and create. These are the executive function skills that predict school success far better than early academic knowledge. But let's be honest, you need them occupied while you make dinner. Here's your toolkit: audiobooks and podcasts for kids. They provide language exposure without the visual hyperstimulation, a special kitchen helper stool so they can help you cook. Rotating toy bins, so old toys feel new again. A busy box filled with safe household items, measuring cups, wooden spoons, plastic containers. An earlier bedtime so you get adult evening time, I know, controversial, but life-changing. Now, what if you're reading this and thinking, too late, my child already melts down without the tablet? First, deep breath. You haven't ruined anything. Young brains are incredibly plastic and resilient. But yes, you're dealing with something very real: screen dependence. And withdrawal is a thing. Here's what's happening. Your child's brain has adapted to expect high levels of dopamine from screen stimulation. When you remove the screens, their brain temporarily doesn't produce enough dopamine from normal activities. They genuinely feel bored, irritable, even distressed. This isn't manipulation, it's neurochemistry. But here's the good news. It resets relatively quickly in young children, usually within 1 to 2 weeks. Your action plan for reducing screen dependence. First, don't go cold turkey unless absolutely necessary. Sudden removal can cause severe tantrums and doesn't teach self-regulation. Instead, create a clear visual schedule. Use a timer your child can see. When the timer beeps, tablet time is done. Then we have snack time. Consistency is everything. Every time you cave after setting a limit, you're actually making the problem worse by teaching them that tantrums work. Second, replace. Don't just remove. Have an engaging alternative ready before screen time ends. A favorite snack they help prepare. A special toy that only comes out after screens. A game you play together. The transition needs to be to something appealing, not to boredom. Third, expect and prepare for extinction burst. This is a psychology term that means things will get worse before they get better. When your child realizes tantrums no longer result in more screen time, they'll escalate. This is the moment most parents cave. Don't. Stay calm, stay consistent, and within days, the tantrums will decrease dramatically. Fourth, address your own screen use. Children model what they see. If you're constantly on your phone, your child learns that screens are where attention goes. Create phone-free times for the whole family. Meals, first hour after coming home, bedtime routine. Use the phone parking spot technique, a designated place where phones live during family time. Fifth, get outside daily. Natural light, physical movement, and varied sensory input help reset the dopamine system faster than anything else. Even 20 minutes outside can significantly reduce screen-seeking behavior. Let's tackle the elephant in the room, those apps with claims about teaching reading, math, and languages. Are any actually worth it? The short answer: a few, but not how you think. Apps that actually support development share specific features. They require real problem solving, not just tapping or swiping. They adapt to your child's level. They encourage offline activity. They involve you, the parent, and critically, they move slowly, giving time to think. Examples of apps that meet these criteria. Apps like Endless Alphabet for ages 3 to 5, which teaches letter sounds through problem-solving puzzles, requires careful thinking, not rapid tapping. Toca Boca apps for ages 3 to 8, while not explicitly educational, encourage creative, open-ended play and experimentation. Khan Academy Kids for ages 2 to 8, which is free, ad-free, and designed by educators with appropriate pacing and clear learning goals. But here's the crucial point: even the best app should never be the primary method of learning anything. Apps can supplement, reinforce, and occasionally introduce concepts. But your child learns to read through your lap, books, and conversation. They learn math through counting stairs, sorting laundry, and measuring ingredients. They learn language through your narration, songs, and back-and-forth dialogue. What qualifies as a digital babysitter? Any app designed to maximize watch time rather than learning. Games with endless levels that never conclude, apps with constant rewards and celebrations for minimal effort. Content with rapid scene changes and intense stimulation. Anything with ads or in-app purchases marketed to children. YouTube Kids autoplay feature, which leads children down algorithm-driven rabbit holes, optimized for engagement, not education. Passive video content with no interaction required. If you're going to use screens, and most of us will, be strategic. Choose specific high-quality content. Set clear time limits before handing over the device co-view, and discuss whenever possible. And never use screens within an hour of bedtime. The blue light and stimulation interfere with the melatonin production necessary for quality sleep, which is when the brain consolidates learning. Out of everything I've shared today, what's the one change you commit to making this week? Will you narrate your daily activities more? Replace 15 minutes of screen time with outdoor play? Choose one specific educational app and remove the rest? Or maybe create a visual timer system to manage transitions? Here's what I want you to remember. You're not a bad parent for using screens. You're a human being living in a digital world, doing your best. But now you have the information to make empowered choices. Small changes create massive impact on developing brains. Your child doesn't need perfection. They need you, present, responsive, and engaged, even if just for small pockets of time throughout the day. Thank you for watching and for caring so deeply about your child's developing mind. If even one insight from this video helps your family, please like, subscribe to Little Nest Guide, and share this with another parent navigating the screen time struggle. Together we can raise children with healthy brains and healthy relationships with technology. Remember, this content is educational only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have specific concerns about your child's development, screen use, or behavior, always consult a pediatrician, child psychologist, or child development specialist. May your child's brain flourish in real connection, joyful exploration, and yes, the occasional carefully chosen screen time when you need to make dinner in peace. See you soon on Little Nest Guide.